Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Cavefactory. I'll go over what I did between episodes and all that stuff when we get in the video. See you in a second. And we are here in Cavefactory. As you can see, I've not done too much. I've dug out a little bit of a hole, harvested a bit of cactus. I have a bit more water being created, but we could make an infinite water source now. I'm gonna wait for the cactus to grow a bit more. Always gotta harvest your sweet berries, never pass that stuff up. But we do have stuff to do today. Now, as you can see in my crafters, I have some stuff pre-crafted, ready to go with you guys. But we'll go into the quest book, I'll show you what I did. I did go down the seared brick line. All you basically have to do is take these, well, not these ones, but there's like a seared cobblestone brick. Take that, smelt that, get the seared stone. And then to get the bricks, all you have to do is take it in here, do that, and then you can get as many bricks as you'd like. Actually, I'm going to cut up one more block into bricks. There we go. That's perfect. So that's what this is for. Now we have access to a very basic smeltery system. And by very basic, I mean very basic. We'll grab ourselves a casting table as well. That's one thing I overlooked in the planning. And we'll just put this down here with that as an output. So now that is our basic smeltery system. I'm also going to put this guy over here just for now. And I also can now accept all of these quest rewards. So I got some bricks, some stone, some copper, and then a better looking sawmill, which isn't useful for me, but one of you guys may like it, so I thought I'd show that off for you. Then we get some seared bricks, which I'm actually just going to slot in here. This is going to be for a big smeltery where we can double all of our ores. But until we get there, this is for a different project later on in the video. When we get down here, we need to make a pickaxe head gold, and we need to do gold. So if we go to melting, this will give us 1 molten gold. So we need to take this, stick it in there, and then grab some coal and stick it in the bottom. That's going to melt down. It's going to give us a piece of molten gold. We're also going to make a few more patterns here so we can have some patterns on hand. There we go. Put those in there. We'll make ourselves a stone pickaxe head. And we just take this in here, pour the gold over it, and now we should have a reusable pickaxe head cast. And we can grab the ingot cast, and now we can make iron tools. So, to utilize this, we need 2 ingots of whatever we would like to turn into a tool. We'll put in 2 iron, slap that down there, and I'm going to keep this cast in the ore chest because we're going to need it eventually. Let's go ahead and repair my pickaxe. I'm going to need a little bit more stone. A little bit more stone. That's a very expensive repair. But now we can take this, pour out those 2 ingots of iron, and now we should have, boom, an iron pickaxe head, which we can add on to our existing pickaxe. So as you can see, 630 durability with a mining speed of 10. You put this on there now, we have a mining speed of 12 and 862. So it's going to mine faster, it's going to have more durability, and you can upgrade your tools as you go. Super useful thing to have. So, now with this setup, we're pretty much done. I will, however, throw this cobalt head on here just because it is overpowered as crap, and we love having cobalt tools. This is pretty much over now for the smeltery stuff. Now you can continue down the smeltery line. Not that it really does much for you. Because if you were to smelt your iron in ore form, you get 2 ingots out of that. if you smelt this ore in the melter, you get 1 ingot, 3 nuggets. So if we're going to refine our ore and double it, you're better off crushing it in the wheels, because you have a chance to get 3 from one ore, and then utilizing that crushed ore with a washer, because every 1 ore can give you 15 nuggets. It's better off going the create route than doing this route, but I do like this route for all the alloying and material processing we're going to go through, and you can't mix fluids in the melter. We are going to finish up making the proper foundry here. So to make the proper seared stuff we need to make the, I think it's the Smeltery, yeah, Smeltery controller. You need 4 ingots of copper over the seared heater. We gotta do all this. 4 ingots of copper over the heater, and then from that, all you would need is the seared tank and the seared drains, which we can do pretty easy. I have no copper cooked up, but I can totally cook some up. Have a little bit of copper on hand. Now I am going to need a casting basin, which I'll also craft one up real quick. Throw all of this. That was purely dumb. There we go. And because we have that other faucet, we'll just put them down right there. 4 ingots of copper. We can pull this out of here. Put that in there. And just like that, we now have ourselves a Smeltery controller that we can use to do what we need to do for actual Smeltery stuff. That is going to be crucial. Now, this seared melter can be used later on to make a weak activation crystal for blood magic. So we are going to keep it, because it is important for later on. But for now, we are going to finish up making some bricks. Just enough to kind of fill in the floor and some of the back sides. Smeltery controller can go down here. We are going to make ourselves a seared tank very quickly. Grab some glass. I do like these tanks better than anything. And just like that, there we go. Then we can fill in the rest with these. And we are going to put down 2 things here for these, because we are going to need that. And then from there, we can just remember to can do our stuff from there. Where's the rest of my seared stone? So we are going to need to cut up a few more bricks. I'm just going to cut them all into bricks, because why not? I am going to grab a seared drain or 2. There we go, and we'll place these down just like that, and then put these down like that, and we now have a functioning smeltery. Although I will say this, you cannot use it until you get the lava ritual done through blood magic. Now, fortunately, we don't really need it, just because we're not quite there yet when it comes to material processing. So, I'm going to keep this how it is. We are going to make another row of bricks for the smeltery, just because we can increase the capacity it'll hold. We'll do 2 rows for now. The rest of this we'll just keep in here. And that's that. So that was the Tinker's Smeltery line. Now you can do everything with Tinker's. You can make your custom swords, pickaxes, hatchets, whatever you want to do to your heart's content. From there, we kind of pivot back to blood magic. And I'm going to get this alchemy table out, and I'm going to place it down over here. I am going to place it down over here, like this. There we go. So now with this, you can use this to make many, many alchemy things. This doesn't really matter as of right now. But what we are going to do, I'm going to show you what this is useful for. So you need Arcane Ashes to pretty much do anything. With that, you need your blood orb, gunpowder, white dye, coal, and redstone. This is how we're going to end up doing a lot of our alchemy in the beginning. What did I say it was? Ashes. I need a piece of coal. And a blood orb. Where's my blood orb? It's in my inventory. Alright. So, now with all this, and the blood orb, let's now use some of our life essence in our network to create a batch of Arcane Ashes. Which, once we have this, we can use it to make more Arcane Ashes with stuff later on. We never need to do this step again. This is just a one-time step. But now we have Arcane Ashes, we also get a Divination Sigil, which we can use to see not only our essence. This one here is the Altar, Tier 1, current essence, current capacity. And then this one down here, the 2,320, that's how much I have left in my network. So with that, we can use that to our advantage. We have the what am I looking at overlay, so I can see what's in the Blood Altar. That's not super useful. But for our life essence storage, it's very important, because that's how you see what's useful. I got 4 blank slates, which is actually perfect. If I would have gotten 8, it would have been overpowered, but that's okay. Sigil of the Blood Lamp is going to be super useful. So a water sigil, you need water reagent, which is 2 water buckets and a sugar to make a water reagent, which you can then make a water sigil to get infinite water. Now, I just need 3 more cactus to finish this up. Let's go ahead and do this, because honestly this will grow back between episodes, and then I could just continuously do what I want to do. So that's going to be like that. We're going to grab ourselves another bucket here. Now pick up all of this water we have laying around. We're going to make some sugar. And then we're going to bring it over here. We're going to put our blood orb in. And now we're going to make a water reagent. So this is going to allow us to make the water sigil to get infinite water. We can now utilize that to get our buckets back. So now if I take the Arcane Ashes, the water reagent, and then a blank slate, you'll see the blood magic symbol starts to fly around. And we start to do some magic. And just like that, we now have a water sigil. So we can use our life essence pool, see 2020, put down water. And every block of water costs 100 LP. Just like that, we now have an infinite water sigil in our hand. Now we no longer need this setup here, because this is now inferior and useless. Just like that, completely deconstructed that whole setup. We won't need it until we go do some other automated brewing or some sort of other mixing recipe, which we probably won't use for a little while yet. Now, is there a chest upgrade, gold to diamond chest? Because I'm going to need that, because we have a lot of stuff. That's better. So, slates, buckets. No longer need buckets because I have an infinite water bucket. Divination Sigil. We'll keep all this on us. Don't need the wrench right now. And just like that, we now have Sigil of the Blood Lamp. I'm just going over all this quick. If you guys know what this stuff is, don't feel free to skip through. But this, if I break this torch and I hit the F7 menu, you see that there's darkness here. With the Sigil of the Blood Lamp, you can actually place down these tiny, tiny lights at cost of LP. Now, they don't really use a whole lot of LP, which is why they're super nice. Plus, they are very bright. So one light costed me 10 LP. So it's not a huge cost to anybody who wants to have some very compact and not torch lighting in their base. Very nice to use. The next step in this is going to be doing a little bit of farming for create, but we're going to keep going down blood magic, because we need to get ourselves a tier 2 altar, because all of these things can go into our spawner to upgrade the spawner. So we're going to need 8 of these blank slates, because every rune needs 1 blank slate. So we're going to need another 5 of that. Dagger of Sacrifice. Now, we can make what's called a Sacrificial Dagger, and this is where we can sacrifice our own life for blood, which we're going to need to do down the road, because while we do get a decent amount from this, it's not the greatest. Now, I do also want to touch on the Incense Altar. With the Incense Altar, you can utilize this to empower your own self-sacrifice, if that makes any sense. Do we have the Blood Magic book? We do. So if you end up using this, the Incense Altar, you can boost your self-sacrifice at the Blood Altar by standing near my setup. The Incense Altar will calm your soul based on the area's total tranquility, increasing my gains of this. So to set this up, you're going to want this, basically, and then while the altar is working, it'll emit flame particles from the top and transform your sacrificial knife. It'll sacrifice 90% of your health, but it'll give you a big bonus to your stuff. So increasing tranquility is just a super nice way to do things. Kind of like late game incense altars that look something like this. Many different levels, and then a simple incense altar. You can just do that. It is a very useful tool to have if you have time to put the materials into it. Now, we do have all the stuff we need for it. It's just that I don't have I don't have any charcoal because we don't cook down wood. So I will cook down a bit of wood. But for right now, we're going to continue off with what we're doing because we're running out of time as we speak. I'm going to turn on the spawner, which might help if we want monsters to spawn. Go. Now we can sacrifice our own life here. That's now 3,000 blood. That's 3 of these slates, because every slate, as you can see, in the top left corner, takes 1,000 LP, or life points. Just by doing that little bit of self-sacrifice, we now have enough for 3 runes. Now, we do have this fruit salad, which gives us a bunch of saturation, which is also why fruit salad is super OP in this game, because it gives you saturation to help yourself push through all of this. So as soon as you run out of food, you just do that, pop that, you'll start healing up again. You'll be pretty much good to go. I'm gonna pop a little bit more in there. With this setup, you would have really, really good self-sustain because of this. Now you can mix it with some sort of regeneration potion from either Botania or like the incense stick of regeneration from Botania, which is super, super useful. Or some sort of like bamboo spikes of regeneration, so you are always regenning your health, kind of. We are going to go ahead and make those runes now, though, because runes are important. This is how you upgrade your altar. And I swear to God, if this game tries to use andesite one more time, it infuriates me. So now we can make 8 blank runes. And 8 blank runes are going to be useful, because this actually puts our altar up at the next level already, which is super cool. So now, if we hover over this, it goes to tier 2. So with a tier 2 altar, first off, we got all those quest rewards. Then we can make runes of sacrifice to make our sacrificing of monsters worth a whole heck of a lot more. All it takes is a blank rune and gold, which is actually super useful. And we can just add these things into our spawners because they also increase things like spawn count and all those kind of things. I am going to temporarily disable spawner and then try to pull them all down here. I do want to upgrade our monster spawner because that is like step number 2 in this whole blood magic system. When you upgrade your spawner, you have a much better rate of sacrifice. We're going to keep all this stuff to the side here. Put away our ores. I want to make what's called vector plates. I was talking about these last time. These things, super duper useful. Make a bit more sugar and then just slap out all of these. Now, black dye, again, comes from just grinding coal down in the crushing wheels. So that's super easy to do. Doesn't take very long at all. We even get some gray dye as a byproduct, which we don't really need right now, but will become useful later. Now, at this point, we have access to automated monster pushing. Quote unquote. I have no more stone. I have no more stone. Alright. Look up some more stone, because when I get in here, I'm going to need to seal it back in. But everything is going to lead back to these 4 vector plates. We're going to have the cardinal directions all sealed off with their own vector plates. So now, anything that walks onto these plates are going to get pushed that way and then to the center. Kind of blatantly obvious how this works. Monsters can spawn on the plates, and then once these zombies fall on that, they get pushed into the area there. Now, I'll kind of show you what these things do. We've been over clocks, spawn delay. Fermented spider eyes is spawn count. Minimum value is 1, max value is 20. I'm assuming 20 spider eyes gives you max spawns. This one is increased required player range. So it's going to start slapping all of these into here. Ghast tiers are super important. You can increase max nearby entities, so you can stack them up a lot longer. The only thing with them is that we might need these to craft things later on in the game. Something like a fortune card quarry or something like that. But with going to the nether soon, I'm just going to use them all anyway because we're not too far from the nether itself. I am smelting andesite cobblestone like a big idiot. All of my regular cobblestone goes in here, doesn't it, Ryan? Good idea. Great idea. Super good planning. Not that we don't need it, I just don't need it right now. But with that, we now have a better system for mob grinding. Flip the switch, eat some fruit salad. We should see some monsters spawn. Hello? See, he's already fell down. And that's just how that's gonna work. So it's gonna stack up all the zombies that basically spawn into that hole, which we can then use to sacrifice them to get as much LP as we're gonna need. And once we upgrade this altar with those runes of sacrifice, we're gonna end up getting a whole heck of a lot more out of what we're trying to do here. Which is crucial, by the way. We need to get as much LP as possible to continue this pack. Because once we get to lava, which is kind of a push because you have to make 25 sets of runes or whatever it comes out to be, or 20 runes for the next tier. 20 runes and then glowstone, which isn't hard to do, but it's not too easy. I'll show you how to do it. You need to basically grind down a bunch of torches. Once we get to lava, then we can start doing things like the nether, rotation speed controllers, nether quartz, automated mining for ores. That's when we get to that point. But with this setup now, it's going to make putting LP into both our personal network and into any sort of necessary improvement to the base super duper easy. Now, the blood orbs do have tiers to them. The higher tier you have, the more you can store. Because we have a tier 2 altar, we can actually go ahead and make ourselves a tier 2 blood orb. It takes 5,000 LP, I think. That's super easy to do. We should have that just sitting here. We do. Slap that in there. This is going to upgrade our total capacity for network. So right now, as you can see on the top left, we have a 5,000 LP buffer, basically. One speed rune would give me 4 blank slates. That's actually mad stonks. But for this, this will then upgrade our personal storage capacity of our network to something more along the lines of like 10,000, which will allow us to keep automated lava running machines, or because you can put those things in like a mechanical user and have them be basically infinite lava as long as you have infinite life essence coming in, which is surprisingly easy to automate than you think. So we had 5,000. No, we didn't. We had, hold on, with my blood orb. Let me make sure I'm getting this right. So the weak blood orb has how much? 5,000 LP network. Okay. Using this, we now have 25,000 LP network. I'm only going to fill up what the weak orb can fill up. We only need 5,000 for right now. At any given time. We will not need more than that right now. Later on in the world, yes, we're going to use more than that. But at this point, guys, I have hit the time limit for today. I will be back with more of this coming up soon. I might even record another episode right after this one, just to get some content out for you guys. I've been kind of slow the last few days. But if you guys did enjoy, leave a like down below, leave a comment, and let me know what you want me to do next in this series. We have a whole bunch of quests to get down. We have a whole bunch of stuff to do. It's going to be super duper fun. We still haven't even scraped the surface of technology and magic in this pack. Or digital storage. We do still have all this stuff we can do. So, I'll see you guys next time. Have a good day. Peace.